welcome back to the ZeduHow tutorial. Today we're diving into part 2 of the Slack community, and today we're going to be talking about how to set up rules and regulations for your Slack community. So first of all, what are rules and regulations? It's a set of rules that you tell your members to follow. This is really important, especially if you're making a public community where people from different backgrounds, different ages come together to talk and to share their work and have discussions. This is why it's really important to have these set of rules put out properly. Today, we're going to be talking about the process of setting up those rules. So first of all, what are rules and regulations? So let's dive into rules and regulations. First of all, let's put in a title. The title is usually rules and regulations or rules or guidelines. After that, you want to put a subheading or a subtitle called read through carefully. And after that, what I like to do is I like to put we don't want any of the following. So now let's talk a little bit about each individual rule. The first one is that we don't want any hacking happening, which means that we don't want people hacking the community itself. We don't want people hacking other people's accounts. And so we also don't want any vulgar language. We don't want any vulgar language. We don't want any scams going on. We don't want any spamming, and we don't want any unnecessary tagging. So scams are, what that means is it's about people who are trying to do things, trying to get people's accounts, trying to get people's money and other things like that. Spamming is a little bit different. It's when people are sending messages, they're not really contributing to conversations, they're not really talking to people. Instead, they're just annoying people and really just annoying the community. These people are pretty common sometimes, and that's why it's important to have this rule out there so that you have a reason and you can defend yourself. Then we have unnecessary tagging. Now, this one is more of an annoyance for people. It's when somebody just goes around messaging people, talking to people, but if they're not really contributing, they're just saying like, hey, hello, and not really talking or making conversation with people, instead just going randomly. This one can become annoying and it's not really good for the community. So for that reason, I recommend having this rule out there just to make people aware of that. Then advertising other communities, other competing communities without permission. Sometimes people will try to share their own communities without your permission. I don't recommend this because sometimes it might not even be related to what you're doing. And most people that join communities, they don't really want to see many of these ads. So for that reason, I recommend just having that rule up there. Then we have our next rule, which is called bullying. No bullying. We don't want any bullying. We want to keep this a clean, fun environment for everybody that comes here. If you're going to give feedback, make sure you do it in a nice, positive way. And then we have no harassment. It's pretty clear. And after that, we have no bad mouthing. So what that means, if somebody's asking for feedback, be nice and really don't say anything that you wouldn't say in real life. After that, I put another quick a couple of words here saying we don't want this from any of our community or server members. And then we put, we have experienced this incident a while back, and the guilty parties were dealt with swiftly and harshly. Needless to say, we don't want similar issues like this. So be mindful and respectful to one another. So now that we have these rules set out and we have it written down, you will also be able to find this in the link in the description below. So make sure you guys go and check that out. And feel free to edit this, but this is my standard rules that I have set up. So I'm actually just going to go and copy that. And I'm going to go back to our community on Zedu Plus, on Slack. And here, as you can see, we are on Slack, and I have my community pulled up, and we're currently in the general section. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to paste this in, and then I'm actually going to go up to the top where it says rules and regulations, and I'm going to make this a little bit more bold. Now, the way we do that is by going on our keyboard and pressing Shift 8 before the sentence begins, and Shift 8 after the sentence begins. Now I'm going to hit Enter to submit this. And as you can see, now it's really bold. So now we can grab people's attention. After this, what you have to do is you can click on pinning this to general, and then click Yes, I pin it, this message. And as you can see, it gives this little yellow highlight, and people will actually be able to find this up here on the pin icon, and it shows up. So now people will actually be able to see this, and people will be aware that there are some rules and there are some regulations put in place. Okay, so that was the end of the tutorial, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, press the subscribe button, and if you have any questions or if you have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear that from you. So make sure you comment down below. And I will see you guys in our next video.